Hey, second graders! Today we're going to start some math. We're going to start off with Module 7, Lesson 22. And today we're going to be using a ruler, like a number line, to help us add and subtract. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to open up your workbook to Lesson 22, and I want you to turn past the problem set pages. You have two problem set pages, and I want you to turn past those, and I want you to find this page here that has template A and template B. So pause me while you find the pages. Okay, so you've got the pages. I want you to use today a pencil, and you're going to need an eraser because we're going to just make some, we're going to write some numbers on this template, but then we're going to erase them and then do another one and then erase those and do a new one. So we're going to use this template a couple times. We're going to use this template. We're actually going to be erasing a little bit on this one. So gather up a pencil and eraser, pause me, and come back. Okay, guys. The first thing I want to review with us is I want to review compensation and how we do compensation. So let me write here, compensation. Compensation. Okay, so we're going to use compensation to make our math problems a little bit easier for us to solve. But we're going to still have the same answer as if we had used the original equation. We're just going to make the problems a little bit easier to solve. So let me show you what I'm thinking. I was thinking, what if we had the problem 420 plus 190? So, as any time today that you need to pause me so that you can write and follow along, pause me, okay? Because I do want you following along with me. What if we had 420 plus 190, and we were going to try to solve this addition equation? Well, there's an easier way to solve this. What if we could take 190 and turn it into 200? What if we could make that second addend be a nice even 100 to add? But remember, we can't just add amounts into our equation. But in addition, you can always take a little bit from this addend and put it over here, because it doesn't matter. Whatever, we're going to combine these two. So you can put a little bit over here from this one, as long as we didn't get anything else from outside somewhere else and add it in. So what if we decided we wanted the 190 to become 200? Now to do that, how much more would we need? 10. We would need 10 more. So we can get that 10 more from the 420. We're just kind of shifting around some amounts. So if we're going to get 10 more from 420, that means we've got to take 10 from 420. So how much would we have now in this first addend? We'd have 410. So all we've done, we still have the same amount that we're adding together here. We've just taken part of this number and shifted it over here to make it easier for us to add. Now, if you look at 410 plus 200, I bet you can do that in your head. Think, what would that be? Add your hundreds first. So 400 plus 200 would be 600. And then we had 110 and 0 ones, and then 0 tens and 0 ones. So it's just going to be 610. And for me, that's a lot easier if I'm just trying to do some mental math to shift some things around in my equation so that I can then add those numbers together mentally and not have to get out my pencil and paper and do a bunch of notes and maybe even do the vertical method. So compensation, we're going to be using compensation today. So that's why I wanted you to have that reviewed. Okay. Now we're going to go and we're going to use this first template up here, template A. And this is the one, like I said, we're going to be writing on it and then we're going to erase. So don't write too dark. Make sure you use a pencil and eraser. Okay. How can we use this number line, this one up here, to show 20 yards more than 35 yards. We want to show 20 yards more or past 35 yards. So it sounds to me like 35 yards would be our starting point. Okay, so I'm going to label this first hash mark here 35. And you do the same thing. Now, we're going to show 20 yards more than 35 yards. But I'm looking up here, and if we were going to scale this to where each hash mark was worth 1, we're going to run out. We don't have 20 of those. So instead of each hash mark having a value of 1, or that space having a value of 1, what if we made that space have a value of 5, let's say? Would we have enough? If this was 35, 5 more than 35 would be 40, 45, 50, 55. Do we have enough to show 20 more than 35? Let's think about this now. Let's slide 20 more yards counting by 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so we've just gone up 20 yards, and let's put a point there. So we do have enough room on this number line to show 20 yards more than 35 yards. But now we need to figure out where that hash mark is, where that point is. So we're at 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Okay, so if we've just shown 20 more than 35, we've just shown 35 plus 20 equals 55. So really, we just used this number line to do an addition equation. Let's try another one. Let me get my eraser. You get yours. And we're going to erase the 55 and erase that point you made and erase the equation and then erase your starting point. So that template A is blank. Okay, let's try 50 more than 60. So if we're going to do 50 more than 60, that means we've got to start at 60. So this is 60, and we've got to show 50 more. Now, we can't do by ones, and I don't even think we can do by fives, because look, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, we're out of room. So let's go to tens. So if we want to say these are tens, starting from 60, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And let's put a point there. So 50 more than 60, and each space in between hash marks is worth 10. Let's count up and see if we can figure out what that number is. So 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. So what we've just done is if we did 50 more than 60, we said 60 plus 50 equals 110. Good. All right, let's try subtraction using the same template. So erase anything you did for template A. Get it all cleared off again. Okay. Let's try 15 less than 55. 15 less. So 55, and then we're going to go less, so we're going to have to count backward. You guessed it. Where should our starting point is 55, but where should 55 be placed on this template? You're right, at the end. We're going to put 55 here. because if we put 55 here, we can't go backward because we're off the paper. So we're going to put 55 right here at the end of this number line. And then we are going to count backward 15. So we're at 55 and we're going to go backward 15. Well, do we have enough hash marks to go by ones? No. But I think since 15 is a multiple of 5, it's not an even 10, let's do 5s. Because I know we have enough. Let's count backward 15 from 55. So that would be backward 5, 10, 15, and we would land right here. And 15 less than 55 is the same as 55 minus 15. So let's figure out what that would be. If we're going to count back by 5, so this is 55, we've got 50, 45, 40. And 55 minus 15 equals 40. So we can use the number line to show subtraction also, not just addition going forward. We can go backward with subtraction. Let's try one more subtraction. Erase this template A. Let's try 20 less than 90, but let's use units of 10 for this. So 20 less than 90 would mean that we would start at 90 and we're going to go backwards. So again, where does 90 go on your template? Does it go at the beginning or the end? You're right. It has to go at the end because we're going to count backward. So 90, and we're going 20 less. But remember, we said instead of using units of 5, let's go backward units of 10. So counting backward 20 less, counting by tens would be 10, 20. So we would land right here. And where is that if we went back 20 from 90? So counting by tens would be 80, 70. So we would land on 70 because 90 minus 20 equals 70. And you can leave that right here just like that. We do not have to erase because now we're going to go on and we're going to do this last problem. Okay. This is where the compensation is going to come in. So looking at this template here, you can see that it's a number line, but that it starts at 49. And it is scaled or numbered by ones all the way up to 66. So we have from 49 all the way up to 66. Now, I have here a pencil that I've sharpened, and I want to see how long this pencil is. Now, I'm going to put the pencil, let me see if I can show this to you. I want the pencil to be lined up right there with the 49. I'm going to turn. I think this will help. And I've got it lined up there. And as you can see, do you see where it goes? It starts at the 49 and it ends at the 62. Now, I can't say that my pencil is 62 centimeters long because it doesn't start at 0. It starts at 49. So I can say if I take the 62 and I subtract all that part of the number line that's missing, I could figure out how long it is. That's one way. I could count, let me make a mark here at 62 so I can move this. That way we'll remember that we were at 62. Okay, and we started at 49. I could count up all of these spaces in between the hash marks, and that would tell us how long that pencil is. Let me try that. Let me count these spaces here. 1, now I'm counting the spaces, not the hash marks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that would mean that my pencil is 13 centimeters long. But I'd like to check that. Let's see how I can check that. If we do 62 minus 49, because if I go from the end point and I subtract 49, which is all that part of the number line that's missing, that should tell me this middle here. That should give me the difference between those two numbers, which is this much. But here's where I want to do compensation, because 6249, we can make that a lot easier very quickly. If I were to take this pencil and see how it's at 49, and what if I were to just shift this pencil up on the number line so that it was starting at 50? But now look, if it starts at 50, it goes to 63. Now all I've done is shift this pencil. Did I make it get any longer? No, the pencil's still the same length. But now my pencil starts at 50 and is ending at 63. So now my new equation is 63 minus 50. And don't you think 63 minus 50 is a lot easier to solve than 62 minus 49? I sure do, and it's going to give us the same difference. Because the pencil didn't get any longer or shorter, we just moved it along on the number line. So 63 minus 50, I can do mental math in my head. That's 6 tens minus 5 tens, which leaves me with 1 10. And then I still have those 3 ones. And if I have 1 10 and I have 3 ones, isn't that what we figured out already? 13 centimeters was the difference. So guys, I want you to apply all of this that we've just talked about today, and I want you to complete the 2 problem set pages, all right? Happy counting!